So when we click on the Gather Resources button in the Frames homepage, we find ourselves at the Frame Resource Gathering part of the process. This is the page that appears, and this is where you begin to organize the ideas and put them in the right virtual folders for each frame. These are the actions for this page. The Frame Resources box here on the left side contains folders for each frame and each service type. So if you have multiple services each week, you'll see the title of each service type in the top menu. So here we have our 9 a.m. sanctuary services, all 4 of them. We have our 10:30 a.m. coffee house services, all 4 of them. And then our 3 standalone Christmas Eve services, 1, 2, 3 in that. Clicking on those helps you navigate between each of the service types. Now, under the service type names, you see each title of each service or frame represented by a tab. Click on a tab to navigate between frames in the series. So we're in our 9 a.m. sanctuary series for that particular service type, and then we have tabs for each of the 4 services or frames in that series for the sanctuary series. Likewise, when we click on coffee house, because our titles are the same, we have our 4 tabs, our 4 folders for those, and then the standalone we have our 3 tabs for each one of the standalone services. The idea database box to the right contains all the ideas from the brainstorm wall. So everything we put in the brainstorm wall is here. Now we're going to drag and drop these ideas from right to left into any of the frame resource folders. Once it's dragged and dropped, you'll need to hit the Save button on the left to enter it into that folder's database. So let's try that. Here we have our idea about having 4 dancers bring in the light. So I'm just going to put that over here, because we definitely want that. You'll see it's still bolded, which means we haven't saved it yet. So I'm going to hit the Save button, and it becomes unbold, which tells us we've saved it, and it has a little trash can there, so you can always get rid of it if you want to. Now, we want to have 4 dancers participating for each service, so we're going to click on that. I can click on that, and I can mark that in here as a thread item. So I just changed the no to yes. I save the changes, and what happens is that it puts a little spool of thread icon there, which tells me that I have populated that through every folder. You'll see it showed up in the next one, and the next one, and the next one. So I don't have to drag and drop that into every folder. It's going to drag and drop it actually into every folder of every service type. Now you can go back there and take it out of particular ones if it doesn't apply as a thread to every single one. But that's how you do that. You drag and drop. Let's try another one. Here's for the second Sunday, Advent Candle Liturgy, written by the Verbal Arts Group. So I am going to go into my sanctuary services. I'm going to click on the second folder, which is our second Sunday, and I'm going to drag and drop this item over. It's still bold. I need to save it. Enters it into the database. And that is not a thread item. That's only for the second Sunday. And so we put that there. Now, it may be that the liturgy for the second Sunday sanctuary service is different than, say, for the coffee house. But what I could do is I could go ahead and drag that over. You see it made it italicized here and non-bold, which means we've already used it, but doesn't mean you can't use it again. I'm going to go ahead and drag it into this one. I'm going to save it. But I can go into it and I can edit it. So this has the liturgy as it's going to be in the sanctuary service, but I might want to edit that and have the words just a little bit different in this one. But it may be the same. So I'm just going to get out of that. And that's how you drag and drop over from the idea database and get your ideas literally organized into the different services that you want them. Now this plus sign right here is the opportunity to add an idea that's not in the list that you want to use, and it allows you to do that without going back into the brainstorming page. But it looks just like a brainstorm. In fact, it is a brainstorm, but it's opening in a little window, so you don't have to get out of frame resources to actually add another idea. So idea name, let's say this is Third Sunday Anthem Possibility, and it's music arts, and let's say it's called When Our Confidence is Shaken. And I might have a file, a piece of music for that, or I might have a web link so we can listen to it. But for right now, I'm just going to add that idea so you can see how it gets added actually to your brainstorm page, should you go back there. But you don't have to. You're seeing it right there. You close that little window, and let's refresh. So it adds it to that, and there it is. And I can go to my third Sunday and just drop that right in there. And I didn't have to go back to the brainstorming page. I could just add it that way. One final note, friends, is that in this part of the process, the frame resource gathering, we're just putting the ideas in these folders. Don't worry about the order of them, because that will come in the next step when you do your script writing. So we're just throwing them in the folder. No need to worry about the order that they're in. All right, that's frame resource gathering.